Genghis Khan was so poor growing up that he had to sew mice skin together to use as clothing. He wasn't lowborn per se, but he was fathered by a poor Mongol who had kidnapped his mother. When he had grown up and made a name for himself as an outstanding general, he tried to tie an ally, Ong Khan, to him through marriage between Ong Khan's daughter and his eldest son, Jochi. He was laughed at. "Is not Genghis Khan ashamed to seek my daughter in marriage? Tell him that I would sooner commit my daughter to the flames than give her to him as his wife." At this point, he already controlled most of the Mongols, but in the eyes of the royal family, Temujin, as he was still known, was still just an upstart from low birth. But when the dust settled and the great Khan had led his people to the pinnacle of world dominance, being married into the family of Genghis Khan meant that you were royalty on the highest level. For generations afterwards, being tied to this family meant something. I've always had this fascination for king and queen and royal energy that I haven't been able to put into words. On one hand, I resonate with the role of highborn people, like how the Black Panther makes all of his decisions based on a responsibility to his family and his people. And on the other hand, I've hung out with highborn people and I've done rich people stuff, and it's so unfulfilling that it seems like a joke. And I'm torn on what royal energy actually is. Is it something that you get through birth, or is it more of a mindset? The Ptolemaic Empire of Egypt came into existence due to Ptolemy's ability as a general in the army of Alexander the Great. But then that royal blood got desecrated through inbreeding over generations. Ragnar Lothbrok was just a farmer, but because he sailed west, he rose in the Viking hierarchy. He then became Earl, then King. He had the mind for it. His birth didn't matter, but his children are royalty based on his exploits. This is all to say, I don't know. Maybe there is something about being highborn, but I think it's an ever-shifting landscape, where someone can become a new man simply by the right place, right time, and by being the right person for the hour. After that, they're seen as royalty, as are their children, but that fades out as the bloodline weakens themselves over the generations. The characteristics of royalty can change with the development of culture as well. What was once considered useless, like being a computer nerd, can turn you into a billionaire. Same thing with how comics were for losers back in the day, but now the actor who plays Spider-Man is dating the biggest baddie in showbiz. So is kingliness an energy, or is it actually something that's determined by your family tree and birth?